She stood silently at the door, suitcase in hand, her lips sealed like they were guarding a truth she hoped I wouldn't uncover. "It's just a work conference," she said. 3 days, Zurich. And I looked at her and said, "Don't go." Not out of mistrust, but because I knew her far too well. I knew that nervous habit of hers, biting the inside of her cheek whenever she was hiding something. I'd seen the way her eyes darted away any time I brought up Marcus, her co-worker, the one who'd suddenly become fond of late-night emails. She brushed a cold kiss against my cheek, quick, distant, and was gone. The door clicked shut, and with it, the woman I married vanished. Sarah and I had our flaws, but what we had was supposed to be real. 12 years of marriage, for different houses. 10 years spent building something from nothing, through sacrifice, debt, and compromise. I helped launch her firm, stepping away from my own career so she could chase her ambitions. And when she finally found success, she shed me like a jacket too small for the woman she'd become. I started noticing the differences, the lingering silence, the unfamiliar perfume that wasn't worn for me, business trips multiplying like excuses. The truth didn't hit me like a slap. It came as a whisper, subtle, piercing. And I listened. I slipped a GPS tracker into her luggage, a gift she never bothered to inspect. When her flight landed, I watched the little dot on the screen shift, not to the hotel she told me about, but the secluded villa outside Geneva. The reservation? Made under Marcus Dalton. I didn't confront her. Not then. I booked my own flight, checked into a modest hotel nearby, and I watched, for 3 nights. They were wrapped around each other like lovers of many years. They sipped wine and laughed in candlelit restaurants. They held hands walking through ancient cathedrals. They wore no wedding bands. And I captured everything, every glance, every kiss, every betrayal. I came home before she did. The divorce papers were waiting on the table when she returned. I didn't raise my voice, didn't accuse. I simply slid the envelope toward her, like finalizing a business deal. Her hands shook. "You followed me?" "No," I said. "I observed. There's a difference." She tried to cry. I let her. Guilt performs best with an audience. She begged me to stay quiet, said it would ruin her reputation. But she didn't know that I'd already shared the evidence, sent the videos to her board of directors, to the firm's biggest client, and to Marcus' wife. She was out of job in 2 days. Marcus, the so-called golden boy of fintech, adored by colleagues, always in the spotlight. I started peeling apart his empire like wallpaper in a rotting house. I leaked irregularities to investors, dished out falsified records. The SEC came knocking 6 weeks later. I sent anonymous emails to his wife, screenshots, audio clips, proof that ends marriages in one word, leave. And she did, took half his wealth, full custody of their 3 children, and whatever pride he had left. By the time the dust settled, he was unemployed, divorced, and facing federal scrutiny. I never spoke to him, never reached out, just watched him unravel from afar. Then I vanished, sold the house, changed my name, deleted everything, moved across the world to a place where no one knew me. 5 years passed like a dream you barely remember. I didn't date, didn't dwell on the past. I built something from the wreckage they left me, quiet, clean, and entirely mine, until last month. An email came in, no subject, just an image. Sarah, gaunt and pale, on a hospital bed, alone. Then a message. She's terminal. Stage 4. She's asking for you. I stared at the screen for a long time. Not because I loved her, not anymore. That part was buried long ago. But a small piece of me wanted to see her, without the lies. So I went. The hospital smelled like bleach and hollow hope. Her room was sterile and white, bathed in that same dim light I remembered from the day I handed her those papers. She tried to smile. Weakly, her skin sagged over her frame, the arrogance long gone. "You came," she whispered. I nodded, sat beside her, said nothing. "I deserved everything," she murmured. "All of it." I didn't agree. I didn't argue either. I just listened. Silence had become my power. She spoke of Marcus, said he never recovered, took his own life 2 years ago. She'd lost her friends, her fortune, her future. I was wrong, she said. You were the only real thing in my life. I leaned forward, just enough to see the flicker of fear in her eyes. I wasn't your punishment, Sarah, I said. I was your warning. You just chose not to listen. She passed away 2 days later. Alone, I didn't attend the funeral, but I sent flowers, black dahlias. The note said, "Perfect endings begin with perfect betrayals." Sometimes I still see her in my dreams. Not the version that lied and walked away, but the one who used to dance barefoot in the kitchen at midnight. But I never wake up sad, because closure doesn't always mean forgiveness. Sometimes it's just a quiet pride of knowing you buried the past with clean hands and walked away with no regrets.